Hi everyone, Mindy Hoy here from Lakefront Law. Today I have a very special Valentine's Day edition about why you should do estate planning. 5 ways to show I love you through estate planning. So I am Mindy Hoy. I am the solo attorney at Lakefront Law LLC. It is a boutique estate planning law firm. My office is in Hudson and I'm serving all of Western Wisconsin, licensed in Wisconsin. So let's get started. 5 ways to say I love you with estate planning. So here I'm going to present to you perfect gift ideas for your girlfriend or boyfriend, husband and wife, young kids, adult kids, and pets. So let's get started. First, unmarried life partners. Are you sharing a household with someone? You're not married. Let's say you have a girlfriend. You guys share a house together. You share expenses. You really are planning to live your life together, but you don't plan to get married. If that's the case, there are some things you should do legally to make sure your partner is protected. So be romantic. Make sure your girlfriend still gets to live in the house if you die. So if something were to happen to you, your stuff wouldn't automatically go to the person that you're living with that you really would maybe want it to go to. Let's say you have parents or siblings, your assets, depending on how things are titled, would go to your parents or your siblings, most likely. So it's a really great idea to get your affairs in order. Sit down with an attorney like me, look at how everything is titled, map out what would happen if something happened to you, and take care of your boyfriend or girlfriend, and just make sure that they still have a place to live. That is so romantic. All right, next. Keep your pooch out of probate. I know a lot of people like to give Valentine's gifts to their pets. We gave my cat a little Valentine's toy for Valentine's Day. I bet Max would prefer that Max is not treated as personal property in the court process that takes an entire year. Max really wants a pet trust. So some people don't know, if you have a pet that you really love, think about what would happen if something happened to you. Pets are treated as personal property that would maybe have to go through the probate process. What you would what a better way to handle that is to create some instructions for what happens to your pet if something happens to you. A pet trust is one of the best ways to make sure your pet is treated the way you'd want them to be. So get your pet a pet trust for Valentine's Day. They are included with all my pet trust packages. Next, get something for your kids instead of chocolates. Name legal guardians for your kids. Instead of giving your kids candy, make sure they're never raised by crazy Aunt Sarah. So think about if something happened to you, maybe you and your spouse, if you're married, who would come forward to want to take care of your kids? The way this would work, if you don't do any planning in advance or make it known who you'd want to take care of your kids, what will happen is anybody who wants to could really go in front of a judge and say, pick me, pick me. And then they would be doing that without the judge knowing what your wishes are. So by naming legal guardians properly, you will be telling the judge what your choice is, and that's going to go much better. Do you have a crazy sibling who you think would want to raise your kids, but you know wouldn't be good for them? Make sure that never happens. Next, keep your adult kids out of court. If you have kids who are adults, think about if something happens to you. Typically, the default process involves court. Your kids are busy. Your kids probably have kids and jobs. Do they really have time to find all the right paperwork, to go through the probate process, to deal with all your affairs? Probably not. And they would most likely have to hire an attorney, and that gets really expensive. So your kids are busy. Give them some cupcakes. Everyone loves cupcakes. And then the gift of never having to go to court when you die. Keep your family out of court and conflict. And finally, a gift for your spouse. So, do you need the perfect gift for your wife? Bring her to dinner. Tell her that she's never going to have to argue with her mother in law about pulling the plug on your life support because you're getting a healthcare directive. This is so romantic because most people don't know, if something happens to you and you are incapacitated, let's say you are on life support, your spouse doesn't actually automatically just get to make decisions for you. They may have to go to court and get permission to do that. And then when that happens, anybody who's interested could go to court and say, I think I should make the decisions. Do you have maybe a parent who would maybe fight with your spouse over who gets to make decisions? This happened back in the late 90s. It's a really famous case about Terry Schiavo. her husband and her mom fought in court for, I think, 7 years while she was on life support. Her husband knew she wouldn't want to be, but she was on life support for 7 years before they um, took her off of it because of that. So be romantic. Make sure your wife doesn't have to argue with her mother-in-law over your healthcare decisions. All right, for more awesome Valentine gift ideas, contact me at mindy@lakefrontlaw.com. The phone number is right here. Go to lakefrontlaw.com and get more information. Really, planning your estate is one of the most loving things you can do for your family.